Thank you, Kentucky. Are we ready to blow the roof off this place? You bet we are. You bet we are. It is good to be in Kentucky. It is good to be in the United States of America. How blessed we are to be Americans in the 21st century. How blessed we are to be in a country where we can freely assemble, where we have freedom of the press, where we have freedom of religion, where we have inalienable rights that we recognize were not given to us nor able to be taken by government, but were endowed by our Creator, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness being among them. How blessed we are to be in a country where we can open this group, open this gathering, open this rally in prayer, praying unapologetically, unashamedly in the name of Jesus Christ. We are blessed. We are blessed indeed. How awesome that we can pledge our allegiance to one nation under God, indivisible. What does that nation look like? It looks like this. It looks like this. How awesome that we're able to sing our national anthem, talking about the land of the free and the home of the brave. And indeed, it is the land of the free and the home of the brave because of the sacrifice of 1.5 million Americans who have given everything. Guys that I served with who have come home in coffins draped in the American flag so that we have the privilege to go to the ballot box and let our voices be heard. It wasn't too long ago, a couple of 100 years, that a man named Edmund Burke noted that what it takes for evil to prevail is for good men to do nothing. And I'll tell you what, there's a lot of evil knocking at the door in America and in this world, and it is up to us to stand the line. Are we going to allow evil to prevail in this country? Are we going to allow socialism to creep into our country? Are we going to allow people like Nancy Pelosi and the squad to impeach this president and make a mockery? Are we going to allow them to make a mockery of the political process? Are we going to allow people to encroach upon our right to keep and bear arms? To infringe upon this with safe-sounding things like red flag laws, just a little red flag, not a chance. So what does it take for evil to prevail, for good men and women to do nothing? Will we stand up against these things? Will we really stand up? Do you want a better America? Do you want a better Kentucky? Do you want a better opportunity for your children and your children's children? How badly do you want it? That's the question. How badly do you want it? Things here in Kentucky. Things here in Kentucky are going better than they ever have economically. Do we have challenges? Of course we do. So too does every state. So too does this nation. So too does every family, every company, every person. But we are setting all-time economic records, the most people working ever in history, 93,000 new jobs having been created in the last 4 years alone. Record levels of income, per capita income rising faster in Kentucky in the last 4 years than in every state surrounding us over the same period of time. We've cut your personal and your corporate tax rates by 17%, and we still, despite all the naysayers and fear-mongers, we still had record levels of revenue last year. $22 billion of private capital have been invested in Kentucky in the last 4 years. We have never seen a 10-year period with that type of capital invested in our state. Good things, you're welcome. But I'll tell you what, it's up to us to make sure that it keeps staying on like this. It doesn't happen by accident. The greatest threat to our nation is that we are so blessed. We have it so good that we literally have the luxury of being able to afford to not care. Don't let this happen on our watch. We've got to go to the polls tomorrow and let our voices be heard. I asked you a moment ago how badly you want a better America, a better Kentucky, better opportunity for you and your families. My question for you is, do you want it as badly as the people who risked everything to come here on rickety boats, risking their life and coming for freedom and opportunity? Do you want it that badly? Do you want it as badly as those men in the winter of 1776 who, if they were lucky enough to even own shoes at Valley Forge, they ate their shoes in order to keep from starving to death? Do you want it that badly? Do you? Do you want it as badly as the men who came off transport carriers on Omaha Beach 75 years ago, knowing they would die on those beaches, stepping over the bodies of their friends and their buddies, trying to get up a beach so they could climb a cliff, so they could take out a machine gun nest, so that they could march hundreds of miles into a country that wasn't their own to bring liberty and freedom to the world? Do you want it that badly? Do you want it badly enough to sit in a Birmingham prison and write a letter to a nation and demand that justice be served when justice was not being served, to prick the conscience of a nation and to stand firm against popular wisdom as the world would have had us believe it? Do you want it that badly? Because I'll tell you, if we don't want it this badly, if we are not willing to give our modern day equivalent of lives, fortunes, and sacred honor, if we are not willing to give of ourselves as those that have preceded us, not only will we not have the liberty we deserve and the liberty we desire, but we won't deserve that liberty. It is up to us to do what needs to be done, and it starts by going to the ballot box and using the greatest privilege that a free people have ever been afforded, and that is self-governance. It's our responsibility. Let me leave you with this thought. It was many years ago, also about 75, there was a man named Winston Churchill, a man who stood in the gap, a man who looked tyranny in the eye and stood firm with his nation of Great Britain, a man who said, we are not going to cower, we are not going to capitulate, we are going to stand strong. And many called him the Lion of England. He was not a humble man, Winston Churchill, not unlike other great leaders that we know and have known through the years. But one thing I will say about him, he did push back on this moniker. He said, listen, I am not the Lion of England. He said, the people of England are the lion, but history has called upon me to deliver the roar. Think about that. History called upon one man to deliver the roar. Well, I'll tell you what, you are the people of Kentucky, you're the people of America, both in this room and watching on TV. We are the lion. We are the lion. And we have elected one man, Donald J. Trump, to be the president of this country. And we have asked this man, we have asked President Trump to deliver the roar to America and to the world. That we will not be silent. We will not be apathetic. We will stand firmly for those that have been sacrificed to give us these privileges. We will fight for them ourselves. We will give modern day equivalents of our lives, fortunes, and sacred honor because we love our country. We love Kentucky. We love America. I thank you all for being here. When we see our president tonight, I ask you to give him, when he arrives, the most outstanding welcome he has received anywhere in the United States of America, because that's the way we do it in Kentucky. Tomorrow I ask you to let your voice be heard. Vote for Daniel Cameron for Attorney General. Vote for Mike Harmon for State Auditor. Vote for Ryan Quarles as our Ag Commissioner. Vote for Allison Ball as our State Treasurer. Vote for Michael Adams as our next Secretary of State so we can clean the corruption out of that office. Michael Adams. And I ask humbly for you to vote for Matt Bevin and Ralph Alvarado. I will say this in closing about Ralph Alvarado. This man who will be your next lieutenant governor is the son of immigrants who came to America legally to pursue the American dream, to give their son an opportunity. He's a medical doctor, he's a state senator, and Ralph Alvarado will be your next lieutenant governor. But we need your help. This ticket that I just described is the most diverse to be ever put forward. Black, white, Hispanic, male, female, rural, urban. Those of us born in this state, those of us not born in this state. It is the face of Kentucky. It is the face of America. And I am asking you tomorrow, Tuesday, November 5th, go to the polls and vote straight Republican. It's never been done in Kentucky. It's never been done. We've never elected a Republican to a consecutive term. We've never elected straight Republicans. Tomorrow we will make it happen because you will be out there delivering the roar. You will be bold. You will be fearless. May God bless you, and may God bless the United States of America and the Commonwealth of Kentucky. Thank you, Kentucky.